Hi everyone, it's Hatsy and I'm back with a Create a Sim in the Sims 4. And today we are going to be making my first sim with the new game pack, which is Jungle Adventure. So we are going to be making an Egyptian kind of princess inspired sim. I know that Jungle Adventure doesn't really have much to do with Egypt necessarily. But when I saw the tombs, was it the tombs? Yeah, there's basically these tombs. It makes me think of Egyptian things, and that's what got me going here. So, from a distance, it looks like I called her Green Llama. But no, she's actually called Queen Amira. Oh my goodness. Well, that is quite a twist. So sorry. Queen Amira is a glamorous sim. I actually built her tomb, her like huge mansion on stream, and this was the first night that I got the pack. In fact, no, it wasn't. It was the day that embargo was lifted. So it was the day before the pack actually came out to everyone else. Like I was playing with it on stream, and we were building like her sort of tomb, her like tower and stuff, and I was getting all these really cool ideas. In fact, the chat was like bouncing off each other. It's so cool when that happens, because like then we get these really cool ideas and then we get to work on them all together, and then we put stuff together, and I swear like sometimes I have like geniuses in the chat. It's mad. Like the depth we got into with her story is just insane. Okay, so the idea is that she was this like ancient princess and she was alive like thousands of years ago, you know, that kind of thing. And she lived in this huge tomb, like this huge kind of old sort of like castle made out of stone. I don't even know what you call it. But there's pictures on Twitter, and there's also the past stream on Twitch if you want to go and see it, but you don't have to. It will be coming up as a speed build anyway, so you'll get to see it there. It'll be like plastered everywhere. Just wait a couple days. So yeah, she lived there and she ruled it, and she had like so many people that just like loved her and worshipped her, and like she had all these sort of like armies and guards and whatnot. And she was a secret witch, so nobody actually knew that she was a witch, and she did all this witchcraft. And then she had this this love of her life, because her ambition in life was to find the one, and she found the one, but unfortunately he let her down. We're not necessarily sure yet how he let her down, like if he cheated or like if he died. Like we don't that wouldn't be really letting someone down. That would just be very unfortunate. But yeah, like if you can think of a continuation to that, that would be really cool. So let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so she felt very upset. She was heartbroken after losing him, like no matter what way that was, she lost him. And she turned on everybody, and she cursed like the whole sort of temple slash tomb slash whatever it is. And now there's a huge curse there. So what happens is any male that goes on that premises gets like hypnotized, and she gets rid of them basically. And it's, I don't know, it's interesting. And yeah, anyway, so like the people now, because this was like thousands of years ago, the people, sorry, it's like 1 AM when I'm recording this, the Sims now that are sort of in that area, so they can't knock it down or anything, so that's why it's become a museum. Because they need it like filled with people, filled with light, filled with happiness. But they have to be really careful at night, because that's when she comes out, and that's when like the men get like taken basically. But the women are fine, women are chill. Oh yeah, if you're a woman you can just like hang out there, it's fine. It's a very, very pro women. Yeah, I like that. It's nice, it's empowering in a way, isn't it? So that's it, that's the backstory in short. So the idea was, like, I don't know if this is going to happen, because I'm always very late on the bandwagon. In fact, I'm the latest on the bandwagon, because what everybody does, and I'm very jealous of this because people are so much better at this than me, but when something comes out, they will jump on it and they will do it, and they'll do it well, and they will like be consistent, and it's so good. Like all these Jungle Adventure Let's Plays coming out, and it's all like part after part after part. And there's me here, like, dithering about, thinking, oh, do I do one? Like, if I do one, you know there's going to be, like, loads of random stuff involved. you know that I won't be able to just do a Let's Play. It will be a full backstory of Queen Amira's life. Or Green Llama, whichever you want to call her. Doesn't matter. So yeah, it was really interesting. But I loved that stream so much. It was really fun, especially towards the end. Something really made me laugh, and it's not even like that big of a thing, but I was talking about, like, this was on the stream, I was talking about Yandere Simulator, right, and someone in the chat thought that I said Young Dairy, and I've been laughing about it for a straight few days. The fact that somebody thought that I said Young Dairy Simulator, and I actually said Yandere. That's just hysterical to me. Anyway, on to the speed edit. So this one is something that hopefully those older viewers will enjoy, because I went all out on this one. I started getting lazy with the speed edits and just doing the bits that I wanted to do, and then just like hoping for the best with all of it. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to try my absolute best at all times to put in as much effort as possible. Not that I wasn't putting in the effort before, but as in every single detail has been done. Like, I did the earrings, I did her dress, like every single little thing. Whereas before I'd just be like, okay, not gonna change that, not gonna change that. But I pretty much changed everything. So that's a lot of fun. I love being in Photoshop. In fact, it was really funny because I was on Discord with my friends, and I showed my friend Sasha this picture. We weren't even talking about that. We were talking about, I can't remember. I wasn't expecting her to say, someone got tape-ins. She was referring to hair extensions. It really made me laugh. So I was laughing for ages, and I think it was because I was overtired at the same time. But it was very funny. It's always really nice to talk to my friends, because I think the last few days I've been working a lot on the Jungle Adventure stuff, even though it probably hasn't looked like I have. Because it took me ages to do the build review, and it took me ages to do the first build, but I've done more builds since. Like, I've been recording content, so it's been really nice just to kind of like sit, just like chat to them, because I miss them. And Kayla's coming over March the 7th. It was really funny because I can't remember what she said, okay, but she sounded like a dying Minecraft villager the other day. I was going to tweet it, but I was like, no. And me and Steph did this thing where we stood up for ourselves. Because, okay, usually what happens is Kayla says, let's do this. And we're like, okay, sure. So it was so funny because we were on this Discord, and she was giving us these instructions. She was like, okay, so now you have to tweet, and you have to tweet with me. And we were like, no, we're going to stick up for ourselves. We're going to have an empowering moment, me and Steph. And we did. It was great. It was funny. So yeah, anyway, good times. Really good fun times. Going back to Amira. So at this point, I had put in a lot of shading, and this is my favourite part, if I'm honest. I was doing her hairline. Or something that I really like about her is I tried to make her look like kind of Egyptian, like she had Egyptian roots at least. I don't know, that's what I tried to bring across there. I've been criticised in the past for leaving out features, or for not sort of including features that typical, you know, women around the world would have. I had that image in my head of her, like I didn't want her to be westernized. So yeah, she does have, I'd say like a bigger nose, but I think that she's absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, she's probably like the prettiest sim I've ever created, in my opinion. I think she's beautiful. Who would break her heart? I don't know. Like, why? Tell me why anyone would break Amira's heart. I don't get it. Anyway, apart from that, I've had a really bad day today, so I want to talk about it just at this point. I was going to talk about it in a speed build, but no, I'll mention it now. Okay, so what happened was I woke up this morning and the house was really cold. So I rang my husband James and I was like, hey, the house is cold. And he said, well, there's not much I can do about it. I'm at work, because he always says that. And I went out to the gym. I came back and it was still freezing. Like, the heating was on and everything. And I was like restarting the boiler and all that. And anyway, he came back like about 4:30. By this point, I was frozen. Like, honestly, I felt like it was snowing inside, pretty much. It may as well have just been a blizzard, like, in the house. And I was wrapped up in all these blankets, and he comes back and is like, oh, it is cold. So anyway, Then what happens is we ring Scottish Power. Long story short, it turns out that we've actually had a gas leak, and it's incredibly dangerous to be in your house when you have a gas leak. Of course it is. So we had to turn all the electricity off, we had to open all the windows, we had to turn off all the lights, and I basically was just like, nope, I'm not staying here. So I went to my in-laws' house and I stayed there for about like an hour or two, and James had to wait for the man to come, but he was fine. He had his like iPad and he was okay, but somebody had to stay, and I need to take the dogs anyway to keep them warm, so that was good. But yeah, it's really frightening. I think the most frightening thing is we wouldn't have even known it was a gas leak, because like it's really difficult to tell, especially when you're in the house all day. So yeah, if for some reason like your gas goes out, this is a little bit of a sort of friendly like, hey, like just watch out for this, because the thing is I didn't know, like I genuinely didn't know that my house was leaking, because I couldn't smell the gas. I'd been in all day and there were no signs or anything, because the only way that I knew was the gas was out and I'd paid my electricity, like I'd paid my gas bill, so there was no reason for anything to go out. So if that happens, then I genuinely say, like, if you're up to date on your bills and your gas goes out, ring your local line. I'm probably going to be sending like, I don't know, a couple extra 100 phone calls their way. Like, oh my goodness, why did Hatsy have to mention it? Why did that YouTuber, Sims tuber have to do that? But seriously, like, watch out for it, because I would not have known, and it's so dangerous. Like, can you imagine if any of us smoked? Honestly, I can't even imagine. I really can't. And yeah, like we checked the stove and stuff, like the stove wasn't working, like nothing, so it was pretty bad, but it's heated up quite fast. But that's why tonight's video is so late, because of the gas leak, because like the time that I would have been spending making this video and doing my other stuff, like I couldn't, because I was like taking the dogs to their grandparents' house and doing all that, because it wasn't a great day. But anyway, this was when we were doing the background and I wanted to leave this in. Usually I'll be streaming these speed edits, so if you come along to Twitch, you don't have to do anything extra there. Like you genuinely just, you know, it's the same as YouTube, but the only difference is I'm live and I'm explaining what I'm doing, and you can see me doing it a little bit slower. But it doesn't take me that long to do them. It probably takes me about 2.5 hours to make the sim, finish the speed edit, something like that, so it's not even that long. But I decided that I wanted there to be a pattern in the background, some kind of like, I don't know, like strange kind of writing. That's what I wanted. It's really not supposed to be like scribbles or anything like that. I wanted it to look like a kind of sim, like weird language maybe, even though we all know it's just really like a square G that's been rotated. But hey, I like it. So yeah, she's supposed to be a ghost now, and I will put her on the gallery so you can go and get her if you want to, and also you can get her tomb, but don't forget to check it out, because I'll put that up as a speed build. There's pictures on Twitter, and definitely go and catch the streams if you're interested in that, because they're a lot of fun. You know, it's just my way of just like sitting, just like chatting, and yeah, we tell stories there and stuff, and I love the fact that we can all share these stories together, and we can come up with like proper backstories for the Sims as we're making them, and like proper backstories like for the builds that I'm doing as well, because I build like a lot of stuff. It's just interesting. I did notice that her earring looked a lot like a plumb bob, so I changed it to like a ruby colour. I wasn't really keen on her earring, but I liked how big it was, and I think it was an improvement from what was there. But I made this up completely. Like, you could probably tell that I'm never going to be a good jeweler. You know, that's not a career that's like cut out for me whatsoever. But I think it's interesting. Like, it's an interesting kind of earring. Yeah, I wanted something there. And I wanted very bright makeup as well. Not to the point where it was like incredibly colourful, because I have done another creator sim like that before. But I wanted gold underneath, because I really wanted to just like accentuate the richness, and also because she does have an Egyptian vibe to her, the makeup originally, as far as I'm aware, it did descend from Egypt. So I think it's quite a big thing, it's quite a big point that I want to make there, that she has, you know, makeup and she's very glamorous and things. So that's the end of it. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you all future ones. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.